Friday Varnish. My name is Sheila and today we're going to be talking about all the polishes that I wore for the month of May. But before I start, I just want to thank everybody in the nail polish community for all the love, support, the sympathy, and the prayers that you guys have offered. If you didn't know, we suffered a loss in the family. My father passed away around the third week of June, and so thank you for all of those things, and thank you for also giving me the time to just kind of take a step back and be in that moment of just being with myself and my family at that most difficult time. But yeah, I have 10 or 11 polishes that I'm going to be talking about today, and I'm so excited, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So May is always a very busy month for me. There's just a lot going on, there's a lot of yard work to be done. But off the top of the month is actually my wedding anniversary, which is May 3rd. And so for my wedding anniversary, I wore this very special polish. This is Quixotic's Vintage Rose. This is an unbelievably beautiful, dainty pink linear hollow. And actually, this was not on my radar at all. My husband bought this for me from Black Friday of 2019, and so I am so happy to have had the opportunity to wear this. This is just so dainty. Looking at the bottle, you would never think that this is such a phenomenal polish, but I really enjoyed it. This is definitely something that you can wear to work. It's a very neutral, kind of soft pink, but that holographic just gives you really such a beautiful glow. And I think this was only 2 coats. As usual, perfection when it comes to formula from every Quixotic polish that I own. And so yeah, this is absolutely beautiful, and this is Quixotic's Vintage Rose. The second polish I wore is Take Me to Heaven, which is from Essence, and this is an absolutely gorgeous sort of kind of like a grayed out muted sky blue with a really strong pink shimmer running through it. So absolutely gorgeous. I did this for one of Ingeek's Pantone Summer Challenge, which I have been slacking on doing because there has just been so many things going on in my life, but I will catch up on it. But this is just such a beautiful polish. Again, I didn't expect to really enjoy these types of colors, but just so beautiful. It's so dainty on the nail, and so I really enjoyed this polish. Actually, I've enjoyed all my Essence polishes. Again, this is 2 coats. You probably could get away with 1 if you had shorter nails or if you were a little bit more heavy-handed, but I wanted the shimmer to pop through, so this was 2 coats for me. And this is Essence Take Me to Heaven. And then for Mother's Day, I did a cutie little Mother's Day mani, but I used Wildflower Lacquers Pacifist, and this is again the white version of Don't Play Coy. So she has, I'm sure all of you know, she made this whole entire collection based on Don't Play Coy, which is her most popular polish pickup polish. And so this is the white version of it. And I also did a little bit of reverse stamping, my first try at reverse stamping, and I don't really remember the colors that I used to color them in. I think they were one of my Maniology polishes that I had discussed from last month. But like the remarkable thing about the stamping was that I actually used Expressi's Bolt and Be Bold for the red part, and this stamped really beautifully, so I'm really pleased about that. Now going back to Wildflower Lacquers Pacifist, I have so many whites, and I just didn't think that this was like something to write home about. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful. The formula is a little bit thick, as per usual when it comes to white polishes. I think it was a little bit too sheer. I needed probably 3 coats to get it opaque. Absolutely gorgeous polish. Don't get me wrong. I will wear it again. I will keep it. I'm not destashing it. It's just I have so many whites that this wasn't really a standout. So if you're just starting on whites and if you're a collector like me, like I am trying to collect all the koi polishes from Wildflower, so this is definitely, you know, crucial to my collection. But it's definitely nothing that wowed me. Beautiful polishes, just not phenomenal in my opinion. And yeah, and so this is Wildflower Lacquers Pacifist. And then I wore Deborah Lippmann's Terra Nova, which I've had for forever. I just haven't had the chance to wear it, which is shameful on my part, but whatever. Such a beautiful chameleon color, really. It's very coffee, but at the same time it's like a beige. It's just such a sort of very chameleon polish depending on the lighting. So I totally enjoyed this. Formula was beautiful, even though it's the older Deborah Lippmann. It's not the gel formula. Very, very nice still. And so, yeah, I think at this point in my collection, I have had way too many of these types of earthy colors. And so I'm not sure if this is going to be a keeper. I just have to really think about it. But it's a beautiful polish nonetheless. And this is Deborah Lippmann's Terra Nova. I also forgot to mention, with that Deborah Lippmann Terra Nova, I stamped that mani with KL Polish's Broccoli and Chocolate and H&M's Masala Chai. Again, you guys know I love experimenting with my regular polishes, whether or not they stamp. And Broccoli and Chocolate definitely stamped beautifully, and this is from KL Polish. And Masala Chai, which is from H&M. I usually just, again, I can't repeat this enough, KL Polish, H&M, Barry M's, usually their creams all stamp beautifully, and so I was super happy with that. And then I wore Melodious Utopia from Orly, and this is an absolutely gorgeous yellow with like a pinkish red shimmer running through it, a very strong shimmer. And this was a gift from my friend Sandy. I'm gonna tag her Instagram down on the screen and on my description box. This is such a generous gift. Thank you, Sandy, if you're watching. This is an absolutely gorgeous polish, and I don't necessarily love the formulas from Orly, especially when it comes to yellow polishes, but this one was really beautiful. Even though it had the skinny brush, I had absolutely no issues, you know, with application. Of course, it's patchy. It's a little bit of an older Orly, so there's going to be patches. That's expected from yellow formulas, but it was a very easy application with 3 coats. And actually, I wasn't sitting in my desk like concentrating when I put this on. I was actually watching a movie with my husband, and I was just kind of leisurely doing my nails, and it applied beautifully. So this is a beautiful surprise. Thank you again, Sandy, for gifting me this absolutely gorgeous polish. And this is Orly's Melodious Utopia. And next up, I wore an Emily Damali, and this is a beautiful gray flaky polish. This is called Dull Beings. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have not met an Emily Damali polish that I do not love. I'm just saying this right now. Emily Damali for me is such an impressive brand. Her polishes are just so beautiful. Formula is perfection. I feel like she's perfected her formulas. The color combos and the color payoff are always super unique, super inventive, and this is no exception. This was only 2 coats for being a gray and a flaky polish. Absolutely gorgeous, a nightmare to capture on camera because it's so complex with this gray and the green flakies. Just absolutely beautiful. And so if you haven't picked this up already, I really highly suggest you do, especially if you're a lover of grays. And this is Emily Damali's Dull Beings. And then 2 of my beautiful nail friends had birthdays in May, and we did a collaboration with you know, a bunch of other nail enthusiasts on Instagram. And so for Amy Sue's birthday, which is at Swatching Sue 74. She's a lovely, lovely woman. I used Polished for Days Inspire, and Inspire is from, I believe, the New Year's duo from Polished for Days. This is special because it's my first Polished for Days swatch, even though I have a ton of Polished for Days polishes. And Amy Sue is a big lover of purple, and so I wore this, and this was gorgeous. As usual, Polished for Days delivers just absolutely gorgeous polish. I think a lot of people liked it more than I did on my nails, like specifically my husband. He was just like, that is beautiful on your nails. I'm like, really? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm purpled out, but nevertheless, it's an absolutely gorgeous polish. Got lots of compliments for it. And yeah, this is Polished for Days Inspire. And then my lovely friend Carolina also had a birthday, and for her I used Cadillac's White Queen. Oh my goodness, this is an absolutely gorgeous white crally with like green to blue to purple shifting flakies, and this is a Lacquer exclusive. So now Lacquer is based in Russia, and I have to like use Google Chrome to shop on the site because I have to use Google Translate. So I definitely am very determined to pick up their Cadillac exclusives because they are gorgeous. I think that Lacquer has the most beautiful Cadillac exclusives, and this was one of them. This was only 2 coats to get opaque, just an absolutely beautiful, perfect, you know, Cadillac Crowley Jelly formula, and so I enjoyed this highly, highly, highly. And this is Cadillac's White Queen. And then I actually ordered 2 boxes from For the Love of Polish box. I think it was April and May. And the first one that I used was Prickly Pear from Lollipop Posse Lacquer. Now, this is a beautiful pink polish. I don't know, it's also such a very unique pink. It's kind of like pinky purple, but it leans a little bit more bubblegum. I don't know, it's very hard to describe. Absolutely gorgeous polish. The only thing is that I think it was a little bit too sheer for my liking. I know Carolina and I had a discussion about this polish, and because she wore this too, and she was like, oh, why do I get a visible nail line? I said, I feel like I also got a very faint visible nail line after 2 coats on this polish, and she was like, no, you have to wear all flakies in 3 coats. So now I'm like, apart from Emily DeMolly ones, I try to make it a point to wear crellies and jellies and flaky polishes on 3 coats, and I think that's like the best tip I ever received all year. And so, you know, I have to stop being lazy. But this is a beautiful polish, and this is from Lollipop Posse Lacquer, and this is Prickly Pear from the For the Love of Polish box, May 2020. Polished for Days released a new collection, and with that collection, she also released an On a Whim set of 3 yellows, and I picked up 2 of them, and one of them was Dandelion, which is a beautiful yellow flaky polish. Now, I also have the shimmer, and of course, true blue flaky lover, I had to wear the flaky first, and oh my god, this is absolutely beautiful. It's so bright, it's so neon, it's just stunning, and the flakies that are leaning green on this polish just gives it that kind of green glow from within on top of the yellow. It was just phenomenal. Now, of course, Jenna put a disclaimer on this polish saying that it's stained, and she used Cuticulous Silk base coat or any smoothing like kind of milky base coat really, and she didn't get any staining. I still did get some staining even though I used the Cuticulous Silk base coat. So again, the lesson being is that everybody stains differently, you know, it doesn't really matter, I think. And I use so many yellow polishes and red polishes and green polishes that stain all the time, so it doesn't really bother me so much. And so that was not at all a deal breaker, but I wanted to let you guys know. I did 3 coats on this one, and there was still a visible nail line. And if you mind that, I would suggest, you know, getting a undie for this, probably a white or more like a pastel yellow undie. But for me, I love visible nail lines sometimes. I think it's dainty. I already told you guys this from like a previous video. So I didn't mind that at all. And this was such a beautiful polish. And I hope you did manage to get this one. And this is Polished for Days Dandelion. And so of course it's pedicure season, and for a pedicure I wore Cir Colors Taboo. Now when I wore this, I was super excited. I was like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful pink neon color. Then I was looking up swatches online, and it's actually a magenta. It's supposed to be a magenta neon polish. And so I'm wondering if this faded on me, especially since I bought this from a D-stash. And so if any of you own Cir's Taboo, do you mind checking out for me if yours has faded into this like pinky neon? Don't get me wrong, it's still absolutely gorgeous. It's still super bright on the nail, but it's definitely pink and not magenta. But I'm still keeping it because as it is, I just absolutely love the color, and the formula is still, as usual, phenomenal for, you know, neons from Cir. And this is Cir's Taboo. And for my last mani, I wore Barry M's Damson, and this is from the Jelly High Shine line. Now this is supposed to be a very good dupe for Sally Hansen Pacific Blue, and so I wore this for, I believe, hashtag most loved mainstreams for Joe's Polish Talk 2020 challenge. And this is actually a mainstream from, like, you know, across the pond. And so I thought that it was really appropriate because it's the same shade, that beautiful Pacific Blue Sally Hansen shade that we all love and covet. And so, yeah, I thought that this was absolutely gorgeous. 2 coats, but could definitely easily be a 1-coater if you're heavy-handed and if you have shorter nails. Just an absolutely gorgeous polish. This is absolutely a staple in my collection, something that I will never let go of. And this is Barry M's Jelly High Shine in the shade Damson. So that's it, you guys. Those are the polishes that I wore for the month of May. I know I'm running a little bit behind again, but I will definitely catch up. I'll try to catch up. And comment down below if you had any polishes that you wore in May that you wanted to share your thoughts on. Comment down below if you wanted to share your thoughts regarding the polishes that I wore for that month. And as always, thank you so much for being here with me to chat about anything and everything nail polish. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. There's that bell button for notifications so we can chat more about anything and everything nail polish. And I hope you are all having an absolutely wonderful day, and I will catch you again in my next video. Bye!